6.5 years ago, I almost committed suicide, and it's really, really crazy to think back to that place that I was at and all of the things that had happened that led me to thinking that the world would be better off without me. I want to share today a little bit about my near suicide story because I know that so many people struggle and that so often we feel like we're the only ones. And we genuinely can think that we don't matter, that, like I said, the world would be better off without us. We feel like, there's no reason to live, there's nothing to hope for. And I just want to underscore that is so not true. All of those things are so false, but they feel real to us in that moment when we're depressed and, near suicide. I get it. I've been there. I am now on the other side, and I look back so differently at who I was and what I was going through in those moments. But I want to share my story because I want to give you hope that if you are struggling, you can get through this and you will be better off for it, and your struggle will be the source of your strength. So it was April 20th of 2014. It was Easter, and I was so upset because so hard to talk about. A few months before, almost a year before, I had accepted my dream job as a full-time tenure-track professor, and that required moving across the country from all of my family and friends, the whole world I'd ever known. And then we ended up moving in June of 2013. I had my first son in August of 2014, and I started teaching in my full-time job 2 weeks after he was born. So obviously you listening are probably like, yeah, of course, that would make anyone crazy. Those are monumental events that happened for me in the span of just a few months. But I was so naive and I thought no big deal, right? I just didn't know what I didn't know, and I had no clue how hard each and every one of those transitions would have been on their own. Moving, having a baby and becoming a parent, and then of course starting a very new demanding career. That was really, really intense. But I was definitely, still am, a bit of a perfectionist, and I just was used to performing at a certain level, and I had not ever experienced something that I couldn't figure out, that I couldn't handle. So I genuinely didn't see all of the drama coming. I didn't ever know that those things would take such a toll on me. But as the months went by where I was struggling to keep up with my job and unable to perform to my own standards, old standards, and then, just so lost in that postpartum period of new motherhood where I didn't know what to do. I had so many questions. I didn't feel like myself. My sweet son wasn't sleeping, and he struggled with sleep issues so bad, which made me chronically sleep deprived. And then every time he was sleeping, I would run to work at my computer to try and get more done and keep up with what I needed to do. I was feeling so distant from my husband, and I had lost almost all connection with the network that I had back home. So by Easter, when we were celebrating all by ourselves, my husband and my little baby and me, it was everything. It was the cumulative weight of all of those changes sinking in and realizing that this was my new life, right? That we didn't have family nearby, that I didn't feel like there was anyone I could ask for help. We had not even begun to have time to meet other people and build a network here. And as a mom, especially a working mom, I'm like, how do I ever have time to connect with other moms? Where do I go? I couldn't even fathom how I could start to find people to ask for help or to reach out or just to share that I was struggling. So on that day, I locked myself in a bedroom And I hadn't even told my husband that I was gonna do, that I was leaving. I just sort of left my baby and went upstairs. And I just wanted so badly to die. And I just wanted everything to be over. And I'm so sad that I ever got to that point. I cannot even believe that I ever would have considered doing that to my husband and my son. And we now have 3 kids, 3 beautiful boys. And I just can't even imagine what their life would be if I had done that. But I was in such a dark place. And it's so hard to see a way out, to see that there is good. So after, I was in the room, and my husband came up and he knocked on the door, and it caught me off guard, and I wouldn't answer. I would not open the door. And so he kept banging and was like, what are you doing? What's going on? And I was just like, go away. And, it's just a miracle that he went and got one of those little long stick key things that you can put in from the outside of the door to unlock it from the outside. And he came in and found me, and just, he knew that I was not okay. And so he called my mom, and she flew out. And, it's silly almost how within the span of a few weeks and certainly a few months, I was like a brand new person. But I came really close. And again, I just want you to know that you are not alone. And to please keep going, please keep fighting, please fight those feelings in your head, because they are not the truth. Our minds just really play tricks on us, and when we are not in a good place physically and with everything going on relationally, it's almost no wonder that our minds go crazy. And this is not to make light of, other things or anybody's unique situation. I just want to give you hope and help you know that you are made with a purpose. You have so much to live for. I hope to be an example of someone that has really used their challenges to then overcome the trials and get not to the other side in the sense of, having everything figured out. I definitely don't have everything figured out. And there are still so many days where things are crazy and moments where those thoughts start to creep into my head again. I mean, it's happened very, frequently, not frequently, but, certainly multiple times over the years since that day that I get those bad thoughts. But I now realize when they're starting to happen. I can recognize that those are not the voices that I should be hearing, and certainly not the voices I should be listening to. And I know better now what I need to do in those moments. For what it's worth, again, not to make light of anybody's situation or other real underlying problems that you might have, but I just can't tell you what a difference things like, exercising, getting proper sleep, eating right, and having some close other people that I can turn to in my moments of despair, those have just made all the difference. And 3 of those 4 things are fully in our control. So I would really encourage you to just seek help, to see what you can do, and to really recognize that there is a way forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. We have to fight our own minds and recognize that perception is not reality, no matter how strong it might seem in the moment. So based partly on all of that, I am so incredibly motivated to share with you everything that I have since learned about how to handle it all. And again, I don't have it all figured out. My life is far from perfect. I am constantly a mess in so many ways. But I am way, way better now, and it is my mission to share with you the things that have helped me get there. So everything on my channel is about ways that we can live a simpler, more purposeful, joyful, intentional life so that we never, ever give up. If you are looking for ways to start making some of those changes, then I really hope you'll check out the other videos I have for you. Please subscribe for new videos every week. Give this video a thumbs up if it resonated with you. And I'm so grateful to connect. I'm so grateful that you listen, and I'm here for you. So let me know in the comments if there is anything I can do. Until next time, have a great day.